Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Best Family Homestead. And I got one more day of working on the Suburban here. I decided I think probably going to be moving up my timeline for heading up to the mountain farm, and so that's one of the reasons I've been working so hard on this thing. So the inside turned out pretty good. I've got that big speaker system. Actually, it's not that big. I bought from Aiden because he upgraded his, so helping him out a little bit with some money. And the inside looks a lot better than it did. Lots of my Red Bull cans there. And now I finally had all my parts come in. So the next thing we're going to do is, this thing sits really low to the ground, especially as many miles as we have, so we're going to take it up. And I've got just a basic leveling kit going to put in and pick it up about 3 inches, and some upgraded shocks, because you know some of the stuff like the old 66 there is heavy, and my trailer's high up off the ground where it hooks up, so I want the trailer to stay nice and level, especially since I'm going to have multiple trips, because you know I also have the 8N and tools and stuff, so it's going to take me a couple trips up to the mountain farm to get the stuff I want to take up there. So those upgraded shocks use air pressure, so when the truck sets backwards and starts to squat with the weight, put a little extra air in them and keep it level. And then the extra height on the Suburban will let the trailer set level when I first hook it up. That's the theory anyway. And then I'm gonna be having to definitely get new tires for the old girl. So this weekend I'll be having my big everything goes yard sale and getting some money to finish putting tires and getting this thing all ready to go, and then paying for the copious amounts of gas that I will be using and killing the planet with over the next few weeks, taking stuff up to North Carolina. All right, well, I guess I think I'm gonna start here on the front with the keys on a torsion bar. Let me get all my tools and such rounded up. We'll get started. Good morning, everybody. And yesterday I didn't get anything done. There was a person supposed to come by the old black Ford truck that no-showed, and then the next person no-showed. So I got that all cleaned up, which I needed to anyway, sell it. Got that all cleaned up and ready to go. So somebody's supposed to come today, you know, needing tires. So I've already got one side of the front of the lift done this morning, and it's pretty simple for those of you that don't know, if you might be interested. So this is a torsion key, and there's a big bar in there that twists. That is what is the suspension for the front, and you can see when this lines up that this new key simply holds everything up a little bit higher. Very simple, easy, and inexpensive way to grab a couple of inches. And so far it looks like it has. So it looks like I've gained a couple inches here. Allow for some bigger tires, which will raise the Suburban up and bring it level with the tongue of my trailer, so that my trailer will be nice and level. All right, well, got a lot to do this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and get busy on it, see if we can't finish up. Here you can see where this bar is, and you can see this that torsion key I was telling you about. And that's all we've got to replace, and it's really not that difficult. All right, front's done. Had some technical difficulties there. GoPro went dead and didn't realize it. So the front's done. It's definitely much higher. You can see how it slants back. Once I get the bigger tires on there, it's definitely going to be up a little bit more and look good and perform better. So the front honestly was the easy part. Now I get to do the back with the shocks and the springs and all that kind of stuff. So, yep, here we go. So you can see I had issues. That's not supposed to be like that. So we're going to fix that. Got my new air shocks instead of these ones that are automatic, so I can adjust my own air pressure. So we're going to get the shocks off. Then we're going to put our spring compressors on our springs, drop our wheel down so we can install our spacers and our new springs and pick the back end up, or hopefully the trailer won't squat the old girl too much. I got my sway bar link nut off, and I've got the shocks off, or this shock off, and now we're going to fight with the spring. And what I am going to do to make things a little bit easier and safer is normally, well, what a lot of people do is they'll drop this whole rear end down, and then they will compress the spring back. I'm going to put my spring compressor on with it jacked up, and that way when I let the spring down, or when I let the axle down, it will stay compressed and I won't have to worry about it coming loose or anything. So that's my plan. Let's see if it works. So I did it like this, using my jack to compress the spring, and now all I had to do is hand tighten those spring compressors up, and I know my pressure's even. I can let this down and that spring is going to stay compressed. I already had a heads up, having worked on these before, that there's not enough room to put the spring compressor in and use a socket like it's intended to be, but this works just as good. Plus, it allows me to move back here out of the way when I let everything down onto the jack stand. And if that spring compressor comes loose, I don't have so much to worry about as far as getting my head knocked off. Now I can drop it all the way down like I need to. All right. Now, so all this is just simply a spacer. Now, you hear horror stories about people using lifts like this because people would use hockey pucks and just set a hockey puck in there, and then a hockey puck would fly out and kill someone. The way this one's made, it can't do that because it sits down over the spacer in here and then up in the shock. So a lot safer than a hockey puck. And it looks like, in order for this to fit, we've got our spring compressor on, and we're putting our lift spacer up here because there's not enough room for the spring compressor to feed up in there if we put the spacer on the bottom. So right now I'm just getting it lined up and taking enough pressure off the spring where it's all going to set nice like it should. I think I can probably jack a little bit now. There we go. Okay, now with our air shocks here, we'll run all our plumbing after we get it hooked up. So we're going to install them flat, and then we'll hook up our air hose and air supply. And that is a good bit of difference. Oh, that is a whole lot of difference. It is setting much higher than it was. Yes. Now it will, the back will be able to, I think by the time I get the new tires on it, I won't even have to put the step up. I think I'll be able to hook right up to it. Especially because once I get these air shocks plumbed in, I'm gonna be able to raise it. One more side, and then it'll be good to go. I'll tell you the other nice thing about this is I had to jack it up to change oil before because I would hit my chest. I just couldn't fit under it. And now I am going to be able to actually slide underneath of it without having to jack it up to change the oil. All right. Yeah. Finally some progress, huh? Whew. It actually kind of looks like a four-wheel drive now. That is so much better. So much better. 2.5, 3 inches is a lot more than you would realize when you're talking about ride height on a car. So yeah, that thing's setting on up, and Can't wait to actually back up and see how the trailer sits, because I think that it's going to be real close to the sitting level, like real close. So we got one more thing we got to do here. This shouldn't take too long. We've got to go through and fix all our clips and get our lines hooked up so that we can put air in rear shocks. And because right now there's no air, so it would just be a pretty crappy ride, honestly. So we're gonna put some air in the shocks and see how it goes down the road. So what I've got here are the 2 lines and the Schrader valve. So all I got to do is run these, hook them up from each shock here, right there, and run it in and up. And I'm gonna probably mount it right. I'm probably going to mount it right down here, near where the plug-in is for the wiring harness. That way it's real easy to get to, and maybe like right here, it's real easy to get to, and I'll be right next to the trailer plug-in, or the lights for the trailer. So let's see what we can do. All right, so I got the lines hooked up here and ran. Now all we've got to do is drill our spot for our Schrader valve, and I'm going to put that right down here, get our Schrader valve hooked up, and put some air in them. Before we actually tighten everything and zip tie it, we're going to put some air in it and make sure we don't have any leaks. I don't hear any. Okay, well I think that's going to do it. It is definitely more up in the air. Go get new tires. We got some tires and wheels lined up that are almost brand new, so I'll just be able to take these off, put those on, take all but one of these to the junkyard. Not keeping them anymore, but we'll be checking the trailer here in a little while. But first, I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'm hungry, and then we'll see what we do from there.